Hi guys, I'm Shmi and today we're at Aston Martin for part 5 in my video series of the road to GT8, but this is where it starts to get really quite exciting because today I'm going to see for the first time my car, albeit the chassis with body panels on it. It's going into the paint shop and we're going to be able to be up close and personal seeing my very own GT8 being painted today in cobalt blue, my choice of colour. So this is an exclusive and very special thing to be doing. I don't know if a camera has ever been here before. We're going to go behind the scenes at the build of my future Shmi-mobile. I cannot wait to share this with you. Today we'll be filming the paint, and then we'll be back for the build as the car reaches further down the line. Out here we're greeted already by some pretty cool stuff, by the way. I've got to mention it. The V12 Vantage S Roadster, actually 2 of them, and the Lagonda Taraf in the middle. That is rather special. What am I waiting for though? Let's get inside. It's time to see GT8 being painted.
Will you say that again? Yes, sir. What can I do?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, congratulations, sir.
Can't you understand that?
What's happened?
The atrium is always a lovely place to start, but what I'm going to do is just swing through here to where we came before when we were speccing up my car and show you the colour of the day, cobalt blue. This is my choice and what we're about to see being painted on this rather beautiful 177 style mould here. Such an amazing array of colour options, but this is what I've gone for. The final car will be finished in cobalt blue with accents in orange along with lots of carbon fibre and other bits and pieces, so check that video out to see the full specification, but that was all done in here. Not a bad site to follow that up as you have a small history here of Aston Martin heading towards the factory entrance. The lovely prints on the wall as well. This is such a special place and the sort of excitement builds just coming along because not that far beyond those doors at the end we are going to get towards the factory itself. Here's the production line and this is where it's going to happen. I'm actually by the final inspection here, so this is where cars are completed before they get their wings. Eventually, this is where we're going to be catching up with my car reaching the end of its production run. For the moment though, we need to go through to where it starts. This is where we're going to get started. This area is called Body in White and it is where the chassis arrive from the body shop. So you can see over there behind me, you've got the VH structure of various cars sitting waiting to come through to what is in this next area, which is panel fitment. So my car's been through here actually. It's arrived, been through this entire section, which is where everything is basically prepared for it to go into the paint shop, which is up towards the far end. You've got some of the sort of aspects to do with the powertrain as well behind here, but all of the panels basically have to go through the jig, be aligned, be prepared, and made sure that they're all ready to go into paint and completely fine. Because obviously, if they're not right when you start, it's going to cause quite a big problem. So my car's been through here, but where it is right now, we're going to go and see as it's getting ready to be painted. Now this is where we enter the paint shop, and I'm wearing gear of course to make sure that no sort of fibres get on any of the cars. And you've got 2 lines here. On the left is the primer line, so my car has actually been up here already, finished being primered, DB11 right there. Then it goes around and through the second line, which is the paint. So we're going to head over there. The car here at the end has just come out. My car is at the far end. Let's go down and check it out. Here it is then, the first ever look at my future GT8, looking a little bit early in the stages, but this is what we're going to be seeing being painted today. I think it's quite cool actually how the mirror caps and the fuel cap there as well are placed in the middle, of course, to get painted. This has all the panels on it. Bumper there as well. Just being final stages of prep now.
Alright, that does it. Will you say that again? Yes, sir. What can I do?
The process starts then. The first bit of this is the edge primer. See, that's just being done all around all the shuts underneath where you'll see sort of paint when parts of the car are open. Going around, checking the doors. Then it's on to conductive primer all around the car. Come over to this side, see that going on. it's going to help the paint. And now it's time to go blue. See the car starting to be painted. Starting around the edges. Okay, this is so cool. You can see the blue spray in the air. This is it being painted. Oh my goodness. How insanely cool is this?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, congratulations, sir.
Can't you understand that?
What's happened?
What we can see now then is just going to the really difficult bits, just to make sure there's a proper layer of paint inside those sort of curves. So the crease, oh, just lost sight of it. I'll show you on the other side. The crease just back there, behind, yeah, lights. Filling in a proper layer. How amazingly awesome is this? This is utterly, utterly cool.
All right, that does it.
It's crazy how you have the clouds of paint particles in the air. This whole room set up, obviously, to help with this process. You've got the water underneath. I guess to attract all the paint particles so that they don't go anywhere they shouldn't. Still going through all of the shuts here, all the awkward bits, so you can imagine just there on the other side of the boot lid. Now this section in the centre where the wings patch is, that's going to be carbon fibre, my final specification. The hand parts are complete then, so the car's looking a little bit blue, but next up is going to be the robotic part, so we're going to be able to watch this process too. This is where it's going to get crazy. Everyone's left, the car's on its own. So it's loading up the paint. Car's moved away from us.
Will you say that again? Yes, sir. What can I do?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The rear bumper, the corners.
Well, congratulations, sir.
Can't you understand that?
What's happened? All right, that does it. Will you say that again? Yes, sir.
How phenomenally cool is this? Being able to see my own car being painted here in the cobalt blue, the colour that I've chosen for it. Watching the machines is just utterly, utterly ridiculous. Being this close to it and seeing it happen live and knowing what this is going to look like in all the future content we're going to be filming with it. This is amazing. Ornaments in the front wing of the A-pillar.
What can I do?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, congratulations, sir.
Can't you understand that?
What's happened? All right, that does it.
It's quite mesmerising watching this. Able to take a walk around the car while it's being inspected. It's been in this booth for about 20-30 minutes to let the paintwork settle at 45 degrees. The paintwork then needs to be left again for half an hour to cool back down to sort of room temperature 21 degrees before the clear coat goes on. So in the meantime, you've got a sort of, well, satin almost finish to the paint. This is so insanely cool to see the car in this super early stage here. Literally, I'm not going to touch it just in case I made any marks, but we can look around the whole thing. This is insane. The door handle, I hadn't realised that. How cool is that right there? And you can see inside, obviously they don't paint the parts that are eventually covered up and never get seen. system. Now we are where the car comes back into the factory and joins the production line. So there are two lines here, one for DB11 and one for the other cars. So mine will come up this first sort of alley in front of us where you have Vanquishes, Rapides, GT8s and other Vantages. So to get here, it has to be taken back apart. Things like the doors are removed so that they don't get in the way and give the staff access to the car to get to all the fiddly parts. You've got things like the wiring looms that have to go in, all sorts of ancillary parts and different pieces, and this is obviously planned so that the parts arrive here and are prepared at each stage, ready to go into the cars when they themselves arrive here on the line. So you can see this car here, for example, already has the wiring looms installed inside it. We've got the badge that tells us it's a V8 Vantage Coupe. Now technically, if my GT8 was here at this stage, we wouldn't actually know already because it would just look like a Vantage Coupe. So that's kind of strange. I'm not going to see my car while it's at this part. We're going to be catching up with it again when it gets further on towards the end. And I'm going to keep coming up just so we can sort of spot what's happening to the various cars as they go through the different stages, what parts get installed and set up. They're on break at the moment, if you're wondering why there's not too much activity going on, but this is quite a cool thing to have a look at and spot the cars and wonder what we are looking at this stage. In fact, I'm just trying to work out in my mind if there is any way to tell a GT8, but I don't think so. We'll keep going up because further up here is where marriage happens. I've stopped naturally because we've come across some 6-litre V12s. These things are just incredible. And this is the start really of powertrain, where you can see the gearboxes. This is where they're assembled and then attached to the axles and the suspension setups. I think we're going to see those just in a moment. You can see a couple of completed sort of powertrain setups just ready there, preparing for where they marry into the car. So this is all done through here, the suspension and front sort of structures and rear structures as well, of course. More parts again that all have to be coordinated and brought into line in exactly the right places. This is really a whistle-stop tour, and you can see this is where the two lines are going to meet for the powertrain and for the chassis, and they literally are pushed through, keep coming around here. Actually, we can get quite close to one here. Very special setup, like the Aston Martin logo there on the transmission tunnel. But you can see that these come underneath, the cars are raised up over the top, and then the marriage will happen right there between them before they continue down the line on their way. And we're back in the atrium where I'm next to the menacing looking Vulcan again, but what a spectacular opportunity there to have a look behind the scenes and see my car for the first time and share it with you guys. I cannot thank Aston Martin enough and everyone who was involved in making today possible, because what just an exclusive and incredible opportunity that has been, and I have loved seeing it and being able to share it with you. So thank you very much for watching episode 5 in the road to GT8. For episode 6, we're going to be back to see the car in a slightly more built state as it makes its way down the production line. Thank you very much for watching though. Make sure you're subscribed and do come back to check that out. But that is it for now. I'll catch you again soon. Cheers.